Cameron, that was a grand entrance.
Let's see if I can get out of here.
Well, I'm sure you can do it more gracefully than I could.
A little different than my Cayman race car.
What certainly seemed to have a theme going on here this afternoon in the showroom. What are we getting into?
Yeah, we got Falken Mania here, Falken Tire Mania. We have 3 special 997, actually the 3 RSR derivatives, 997 derivatives here, all 3 Falken team cars.
Yeah, the 2008, the 2010, and the 2012, so a nice evolution of the platform. Right?
Absolutely.
And at the time, back in the era, a culmination and the best of the best of racing, arguably the most successful race car of all time, right? A 911, and certainly the evolution of 50 years of Porsche Motorsports.
Absolutely. You know, it's best of both worlds. You have 2 iconic brands. Well, Falken, I don't know if they were iconic in the late 2000s, but certainly would become iconic. And we know through experience in recent days and recent weeks, young people come in the showroom because of the Formula Drift Championship. And of course, Falken competing there and being very successful in the Formula Drift Championship with the iconic teal and blue livery that are so well known for. And since 1999, Porsche Falken have competed in my favorite race, the 24-hour Nürburgring race, and they podiumed there in 2015 with a third with a GT3 R. But I love the Falken livery. For guys our age, I was at this race in 2013 at Petit Le Mans, saw this in person. But particularly, I talk about how well the 997 street cars of age, the 997 RSRs are really aesthetically pleasing to the eye.
You know, the iconic livery of the teal and the scallops into the blue paint. What are your thoughts on value in terms of liveries and the provenance behind them and how it adds significant value to the cars?
Yeah, absolutely. As we both know, talking about competition Porsches with customers all the time, it's great to have liveries that are attractive, but it's great to have iconic liveries. And Falken in the modern era has become iconic. Certainly with young people starting in the 2000s, Falken deciding to throw their hat in the arena in the American Le Mans series, going up against Yokohama and Michelin, of course, Dunlop, Bridgestone. It was a bold move by them.
Yeah, for a much smaller company.
For a much smaller company. And starting with the 2008 here, we'll just start, obviously this is not in Falken teal and blue livery. What's the backstory of that, Timothy?
Yeah, as most people know, RSRs are delivered from the factory in white. And this is the only one in 2008 that was painted signal yellow from the factory, actually delivered to Jochen Rohr.
Yeah.
And the history that he had with this car before he sold it to Falken.
Yeah, that's a great story, and not many people would have the pull with the factory to order an RSR and paint a sample.
Right.
But Jochen, because of his established career and his relationship with Porsche and his racing, was able to order this from PMNA, Porsche Motorsports North America. And his race program didn't quite come to fruition. And Falken was looking for a candidate to do their tire testing to be able to compete in American Le Mans. And this actually raced a few races in 2009. But to me, overall, the 2008 of these 3 variants of the RSR development of the 997 program is the most cohesive and best looking, just aesthetically. Of course, this has the 3.8 liter, where the other 2 have the 4 liter. I love this car, not just because of the signal yellow and the cohesive aesthetics of it, but it's also that sequential last generation 911 competition car with that sequential shifter that shares the same shifter with the RS Spider from that generation. So really fun. You're actually engaged in the driving process even more so than the other 2 variants. But this appeals to me from a collectability standpoint in those 2 ways. Again, the signal yellow as well as the sequential shifter, and of course being a Falken car, because you could ride it like this in signal yellow, which looks really good, or you could put the Falken livery on it.
Yeah, it's kind of that, the uniqueness to it. How about the 2010, kind of the most famed of these particular 3 cars?
Yes.
When it raced, it wasn't in this livery.
No, it's a great story. I mean, it's just a remarkable story. It's in 2013, which is the last year of American Le Mans before they merged into Grand Am, Rolex. They had an incident with the 2012 car and had to bring this out of retirement. So it's 2013. They had the 2010 in the paddock to
The
race.
old car.
The old car.
Old technology.
And it's a great story because Falken was smart enough to create some synergy and some kind of hysteria over the whole thing because they partnered with Microsoft back when Forza Motorsports was on the Xbox, and they had a competition where people could design a livery for Petit Le Mans. And there were 200 entrants. They came down to 6 finalists. It was all voted on Facebook. And not in this livery, but they went with this wonderful gray livery with winter camouflage on the hood and doors. And of course, the famous shark tooth smile on the front grille and a gold tooth. And it's a remarkable story. Wolf Hensler, one of my favorite factory drivers, and Nick Tandy, Brian Sellers, pull off the biggest upset. It's a great race. I implore you to watch it on YouTube. They have the whole race on YouTube. Watch the last 2 hours. Yeah. It is great. And the Falken tires were notoriously fast in the rain. And these 3 guys just drove their asses off and pulled off an upset. It's a great class victory. It's just one of those unique stories of David versus Goliath, Falken against these much bigger teams with bigger budgets.
Yeah, and very well said. And like you mentioned, there's plenty of stuff out there on the intraweb, right? that is a very well-known story and a very famous RSR from that time period. How about the 2012? The rarest of them all.
Yeah, the rarest of them all. What, 9 made?
Yeah, 9.
So the final evolution of 997 RSR development. Obviously, more aero on this car. This car's claim to fame is really dominating at the last Rennsport. In 2018 at Rennsport 6, Jörg Burgermeister piloted this car and really ran away from the field. That car coming in second place with Kevin Astra. But it's just a remarkable story, one of 9 made. And again, these cars are so usable beyond Rennsport, which we haven't even quite reached all the hype yet, going into the new year, coming up 2023.
Yeah, September next year, Rennsport, the 75th anniversary.
That's right. It's going to be huge. It's obviously going to be oversubscribed. I think it is, if not already. But these are unique opportunities to use these cars in other events other than Rennsport. You have Daytona, classic Daytona, the Master Endurance Legend Series in Europe, where they race all modern historics, where they race at all the iconic tracks. All 3 of these cars are candidates for that. And what a way to create memorable moments and experiential experiences.
Yeah, and Cam, I think we'd be remiss not to mention our good friend, Jim Edwards, who in 2018 brought the cars as the owner to Rennsport 6 and had a great crew chief in Nico Castellaccio and piloted by, as you mentioned, the first and second place drivers, Burgmeister and Estre, just dominating the class there at Rennsport 6.
Jim is such a unique collector. He's
pioneer
in the sense that he believes in using the cars as they were intended, sharing them with the public by taking them to events like Rennsport and bringing these modern day pilots into the cars. And again, Falken came back and even provided some tires for the last Rennsport. So he really brought together so much Porsche history and of course the manufacturer that owned these cars and raced these cars. And he's just a special guy and special cars. These are up for grabs, and potentially 3 different individuals or 1 individual could be at the next Rennsport. I hope continues a legacy of the Falken RSRs at Rennsport. That to me, as an idea and a philosophy, is really exciting.
Yeah, that the next owners and custodians, we owe it to Jim, right, as our word that we need to find good homes for these cars and these track monsters that need to be used and shared and be driven at all these different events that we've mentioned. So just thrilled to be able to share, this special lineage of 997 RSRs, but a culmination of 50 years of the best motorsports in that era on the 997 platform. So hope everybody enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.